Hi, today I thought I would show you how I do my eye makeup and address what I think is the number one issue that my friends are having. So, as I am passionate about makeup, my friends generously, and I love it when they come to me for advice. And the number one advice that people are asking for is how to make my eyes stand out. How can I get them to look bigger than they are and just really bring that attention to the eye without looking like you have a ton of makeup on? So my friends aren't looking for a dramatic night out. They're looking for every day making their eyes stand out. So I want to show you the simple tricks that establish that. This is particularly good if you have hooded eyes, and I'll talk about hooded eyes, but let's get going real quick. So I have done half my face, if you can tell the difference. And I feel one eye, this eye particularly looks quite a bit bigger. You're drawn to it, and it's done through the eye makeup and the eyebrows. So this side has eyeshadow primer, and that's it, no eyebrows. Foundation is done. I'm testing out the It Cosmetics CC cream. The jury's still out on whether I like that, but everything else is done. So I'm going to use my favorite palette, Shade and Light, and normally I'm quite boring, and I use this one, the very basic one. Sometimes I get crazy and use the gray one, but today I'm going to use the warm one down here. So I'm going to try to show you all the tips. Let's get started. So to start off with, the main thing that I notice people are not doing correctly is bringing their shadow high enough. So they do this beautiful job of putting shadow here, and it looks gorgeous when you have your eyes closed, but then you open your eyes and you can no longer see the shadow. So if you've ever had that where you do a great job and with your eyes closed it looks beautiful, and then you open your eyes and where did the shadow go? You have hooded eyes. Hooded eyes are simply the skin that's over the part that actually covers your eye. So what they call the mobile eyelid. If that is covered when you open your eyes and look straight ahead, you have a hooded eye. People have this for a variety of reasons: your face shape, your age, your ethnicity, all kinds of different stuff. So how do you do your eye makeup that way? It's quite different. So what I'm going to do is take my transition shade, which is the medium shade that you're going to use to create a false crease. So I'm going to use this peach shade. I'm using a nice fluffy brush. It's a little bigger than I normally do because this shade is so close to my natural eye color. So again, here's the secret. You look straight ahead. Instead of placing the shadow, this is going to be hard because I'm doing it the opposite of the screen, if that makes sense. So see, I did it again. Instead of placing the shadow here, which is what you're taught, you're going to take the shadow and go much higher, halfway between your, when your eyes open, halfway between the crease and the brow bone. So I'm going right here and gently bringing it in. So notice I'm not touching the mobile lid. I'm not touching any of this situation. I'm simply going high and in. And where you want to start, where you put your brush first, is where the most color is going to come. So always start at the high point. Now, a mistake that I see a lot is people start, instead of having their high point, let me do it on this side, up here. My high point is right here, is where I'm bringing all the attention to, is this area. They'll have all the attention, but they'll have it down here. And that's good in the sense that it will pull your eyes wider. So if you have eyes that are close set together, it's good for that reason. Most people don't have that. So I want you to stay high up and keep your darkest right here, not down here. So let's just go back and get to this eye. So the bottom of my brush is touching what is actually my crease. So I'm just going to put some color there. And I'm not doing a precise job of this because every day I don't do a precise job. So I'm putting that peach color all on the lid and then up high in the crease. So again, notice my brush, the bottom of my brush is where my crease is. So we're really going higher. And that looks about good. I always start right here where I want it. Now I'm going to go to a smaller brush. The darker the color, the smaller the brush. So this is one of my favorite Real Techniques brushes. I did a whole video just on getting this brush. So I like it because it has a lot of taper. So the brush hairs are cut at an angle. And I'm going to put it, see if I can, I'm always interested in how other people put the brushes in the powder. It makes such a difference. So I'm going in with an angle. So I have the powder on all those different cuts. And I'm going to go that same spot high. I'm looking at my mirror with my eyes open. I'm going high up in here. So again, if I look at you, you can see it. Now if I close my eyes and look down, it looks a little weird right now. But we're going to solve that. So we're putting the color there, going in just a tad. Again, my brush, the bottom of my brush is at the crease. So we need to look, and it even looks a little higher than the other one, but we'll blend that out. And my eyes do not match. Going back to that red color, I'm going to go right to fix that issue of when you close your eyes, it looks funny. I'm going to fix it. I'm going about halfway in. And I'm just patting this on. I'm not rubbing because I know where I want that color. And then I'm going back into this, the darkest brown there, and patting it in that corner again. And a tiny bit up. And I need to bring it in a little bit to match. So here I am doing tiny sweeping motions, but mostly I'm patting. And wow, I have a lot more on this side than the other eye. So let's solve that problem by taking that the brush that I used with this color. And I'm just going to gently, in tiny strokes, blend it in. Now I got a little crazy down here. There we go. Now I still have more than on the other eye, but we're going to pretend that's okay, the difference of doing two. Now I'm taking a flat brush, so a flat pack-on brush, and I'm going into this lighter color. And I'm going to put it right under the crease. And I'm just placing it where I want it. And then I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm find a clean brush. And then I'm going to blend that into the darker color. So it gives me a little bit of highlight and then lightens it up. I'm going to take this lighter color and go right under here too, since I got a little crazy. A little crazy with the dark shadow. There we go. Okay, so we've opened it here. Now what we want to do is put a little bit underneath, not too much. So sorry. And to do that, I'm going to use this very small detail brush. This is part of the same Real Techniques brush set that I talked about. Putting a tiny bit on there. And then, see, I'm going backwards. I'm going to put it right on the corner. And I don't like to do too much. So I go right here. And you'll see I'll match this on top with the liner. Okay, so now to liner. I use a pencil because I think it's the softest. I use a pencil and then top it with a powder. So I think that combo's the softest looking that you can have. So I'm using the NYX Slide On Glide On liner in the dark brown. These liners are excellent. I actually just got an Urban Decay one as a sample, the famous 24/7. And that actually, when I opened my eyes, left the black mark up on the lid. So I was not happy with that. And I'm going to need, so I go in little tiny sweeps. I can't think of the word to use. In little tiny marks. It's not getting any better, is it? And I only really focus on the 2/3 of it. So I'm not going in here. I'm focusing on the outside, and I'm not drawing it down. I'm actually stopping right before the edge of my eye because my eye naturally turns down. It doesn't naturally turn up. So I want to stop it before it turns down. So I want to have the color stop a little bit higher than where my actual eye stops. So just a little to trick the eye. And then I take a small angle brush and blend out the edge to make it soft. Here we go. I feel like I got more than I normally do. And then my last step on shadow is I go back, I take the same angle brush, go into the black, and tap it right on the outside corner, just to reinforce that's the section that's the darkest. Now, my eyes are starting to be more awake, and I'm going to do brows real quick. And to do that, I'm doing the Brow Stylist Definer from L'Oreal. It's supposed to be a dupe of the Anastasia brow pencil. It's super, super thin, so you get a nice skinny line. And again, here it's important to focus on bringing your eye up. So I'm going to focus on the right eye, and I'm going to pull it up here. So again, my darkest spot is right here, a little down. That's my darkest spot. So I'm going directly above it, and that's going to be my highest point in my brow. And this I'm going to have to do in a mirror, I'm sorry. So I'm doing small little sweeps, and I'm just making sure that where I want to concentrate these marks is right here at the top. And then I gently go through the rest. And I don't use much pressure at all because I don't want a perfectly defined brow. It's just not my style. Then I take the other edge or end and kind of press through it. I think brows make such a difference. I'm going to do mascara real quick. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Supersizer. I actually have what everybody's talking about, Lash Paradise from L'Oreal, and I have it on the other eye. I haven't used it in a month, and it just reinforced that it is not my favorite. And it sucks because everybody else loves it. But the wand is really large, and I feel like it made it look a little clumpy. So I don't curl my lashes because my lashes don't hold a curl. So within a minute, no joke, my lashes look exactly the same as if I never curled them. So I just don't curl them. And then I do a tiny bit on the bottom, just really to knock off any powder, not to actually add length or volume. So we'll go here. So there we go. I think we're losing light, so we better end it pretty soon. But if I can, again, reinforce anything, it's to take when you dip your shadow brush into a shadow, Wherever you place it is where the most powder is going to go. So always start at that high point that is not to the side, it's at an angle, and it matches the high point of your brow when your eyes are open. So don't do this amazing job and then you open your eyes and your shadow isn't high enough. So I hope that was helpful to you. Please let me know if you have other tips for me. I would love to learn more, or if you have any questions. But thank you for taking the time to spend with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.